So I am currently a student at AUARTS, and last year I spent a lot of time building puppets. And the accumulation of my work is this poem puppet show called How to Build a Life. Over COVID, as a part of my work, I spent a lot of time with people who are experiencing suicidal ideation, and it made me really have to think about, like, what do you need to build a life that's worth living? This poem literally poured out of my brain at 2 o'clock in the morning on a Tuesday, basically intact. And these puppets all represent different parts of the poems. So my lovely friends are gonna hold them up in the correlating times. If you were to ask me how to build a life, I would first tell you it's all planned out, divinely spoken into existence, but it has so much to do with the carpenter who lived 2,000 years ago. But then the world might provide you with a snapshot of reality that doesn't quite line up with the ideas of hipster preachers. You'll find that telling people they are loved by God doesn't stop their parents from being dead, doesn't fill bellies, doesn't protect the innocent. You might question the validity of when they told you it was better to be called than to be qualified. So then I might say, lean into being qualified. Wear your boots out on concrete floors and felt hearts pinned to the shirt of your sleeve. Learn to recognize the ones who need your help. Give, give, give. It will make such a difference, I swear to God. But then the cops in cowboy hats might tell you that the dream isn't worth the chase, which doesn't hurt as bad as what they think about mentally ill fathers. You might see the lady with the bleach blonde hair and the backpack on the corner and wonder why the 10-year plan didn't include her. So if you were to ask me how to build a life, I would tell you I mostly have no idea. It might have something to do with puppets, or paintings, or putting all the words down on paper. I would tell you that I think it begins with the understanding that there are so many parts of you. There's a part of you who represents the very start, when your heart was most open and your only jobs were to grow and chase the sun. This part of you that holds memories, the part of you that still asks why things work the way they do, and part of you that loves to play. There's an elevated part of you, tapped into your own exact wisdom, the balance of stardust and space trash. This part of you understands some idea of a bigger picture and pushes you onward. The tending to of these parts threads itself through everything. There might be times when your mind feels like a hyperactive monkey, chattering away and spinning like a record. It's a part of your job to give that monkey butterflies in its stomach, to do things for the sake of joy, for the sake of the joy it makes you feel, for the way it brings you into the moment. Do these things outside of institutions, outside of grind and hustle, outside of any perceived critical gaze. Come back to where the doing of the thing makes you feel alive, and do it. Feel alive. Feel it in your cells. Sign the lease and take up residence inside those very bones. You might be told this robe of flesh is there to be tamed and dealt with. You might be tempted to spend all your time in the attic with the spinning monkey, to forget that you are a team with this part of yourself. It has so much guidance to offer if you honor what it has to say. 5 things you see, 4 things you hear, 3 things you feel, 2 deep breaths, 1 taste on the tip of the tongue, and you are home again. It's important to recognize who haunts the home and who is a true bedfellow. Emotions have a confusing way of trying to tell you who you are, but you are the witness to any storms that rage inside you. You are the one who feels the tingling presence of afternoon light, but you are not the wind, you are not the sun. Remember to come up for air. So if you were to ask me how to build a life, I'd say you'll probably figure it out.